Okay, Brittany. The blog is looking promising, but there's quite a lot of work that needs to be done to add to this to improve it. So I'm just going to take you through this. I think the first thing that strikes me is your opening post on camera work, editing, sound, and mise-en-scène. I don't mind these posts here with the costumes, but I think you need to make it clear that you're talking about it in relation to mise-en-scène, and it's not just put in there because you like the clothes, for example. So do link that back to mise-en-scène before moving on. Here, you've got a post on sound where you talk a bit about sound, and then you play a clip for 3.5 minutes, and then you say some of the sound was good. I don't think it really works. I think you would have been better picking out some specific examples and talking about what sound you hear within those examples and how it helps to create an effect. Your summary is really vague at the end about what it creates. It just doesn't feel like it's in very much depth at all. That goes for the cinematography and the editing. You don't link what you've learnt in these lessons back to how it's going to move on and inspire your trailer. So you've got a YouTube video here of editing, which just tells me what editing is. And I think this takes me to my whole thing about the Stupeflix videos. The whole point about using something media rich is that you present in images and sound. These videos just appear to be moving PowerPoints. It's just you taking text and presenting it in a different format, and that's not what the exam board wants. So you need to have a rethink about using Screencast-O-Matic, or using a piece to camera, or using a clip in this where you talk over the top, because it really doesn't work. And you're going to lose marks because the exam board are just going to see it as you taking text from a blog and putting it onto a video. Mise-en-scène is exactly the same. You need to go back and link it to your work, with film before the film being fine. Your information on the prelim task is good. You explain, you look at an example piece which works very well. You present all of this in a nice, timely way. And I like the fact that you have reflected on what Sani says in your peer evaluation, and your self-evaluation on your prelim works very well too. The blog starts getting stronger here. Nice intro to main task, and some mood boards explaining where your research has started. What you need to do now is think about this a little bit more. You could talk a little bit more about what it is you've decided, because some of this is quite difficult to read. So it might be worthwhile picking up and doing a zoom in on one of these so we can see exactly what it is you're referencing. In terms of titles, it's good that you looked at Green Street, but I need you to tell me what you learned from this. So you say here, we wrote the specific times. We then wrote down the times when the music stopped, started, or changed. Why? Why did you do this? What did you learn from it? What did you learn about who are these people who appear within the first kind of 10, 20, 30 seconds? Who appears much, much later in the film opening? Why are these people deemed not as important as these people? And how has that helped you to inform your planning of your titles? Again, I agree with all of this initial audience research, but to be honest, this is a very long clip of just writing. I think you'd be better actually taking some images from your films and talking about this over the top of your inspiration, and thinking about looking at pictures from IMDb and referring exactly to the audience profiles from there. I'm fine with this information here about these films. You tell me it's important to be what's successful about these 3 films and why they excelled. You need to do a summary at the bottom to make it very clear what you've learnt. Mood board is fine. Genre codes and conventions, again, is good. I think you'll benefit from having some kind of image on there, because it's quite dull just listening and there being no images. I like this post about the directors, and I like how you've linked that specifically back to how you're going to take what they do successfully and put into your own work. Nice target audience. The narrative summary of your film, again, is just a black video screen with you talking. You could put pictures of Camden in here. You could put pictures of the props that you were wanting to use. All of those things would work. You could put something together on Splice, or iMovie, either in school or at home or on Windows Movie Maker. You need to think about making it more media rich. Yeah, and I'm finally finishing on this creating Enigma. It's fine, but again, I think some images would benefit. Brittany, you've got a few things you need to do here. It needs to be more media rich. You need to go back and really work on those earlier posts linking to inspiration. Always check my blog to what posts you should have done by now. And it would be nice to see you really presenting this in a much more interactive way. I really would avoid using Flicks in the future because I don't think it's going to get you any marks in the eyes of the exam board. At the moment, I'd say this is working at a 14 out of 20. You have some research. I'd like to see more research into film openings that specifically inspired you. Your organisation is looking good, and I can see evidence of lots of drafting in here. And again, it's about staying on top of that blog.